by helping others after you become well, it'll change what you went through. It'll make it now necessary. Now, the trauma you went through, the illness you went through, this is something you could benefit from because it's taught you. It gave you the information you needed to be able to help other people, right? So this is a common way to be able to get out of these difficult scenarios when you're having to deal with a chronic illness, is to say, hey, once I get better, I'm going to help someone, right? This is what I did, and it made a big, big difference, you know? Because everything I started to research, I started to think about, hey, now I'm going to use this information in the future to be able to help people. I need to keep researching. My purpose is to help people, this, that, and the other. It gave me a purpose for what was happening to me, and that was extremely important because it was extended suffering. I mean, I was suffering for years, okay? I was sick for years and years, decade almost, right? And at the end of the day, you know, I had to make that into something. I couldn't just have that time be wasted in my life and just lose 10 or 13 years of my life and just all of a sudden just try to start over again. It just wasn't possible. I got sick when I was 20. I would have lost from 20 to 30. You know, I had to make sense of it somehow in my own mind. So whether or not you want to help someone when you recover, you know, the reality is you got to turn the illness into something that benefits you in the long run, something that gives you the ability to accomplish other things in your life, right? So if you're thinking to yourself, hey, you know, when I get better, I'd like to do what Matt's doing, or I'd like to go ahead and help people, you know, it's all going to start with helping people modify their behaviors, okay? You're not going to be another person, hopefully, that's going to just push more and more supplements on everybody and, you know, keep going down that road and pushing the whole infection concept and we need to kill things type thing. We don't need another one of those people, okay? What we need is someone who is going to help people identify the counterproductive behaviors in their lifestyle that are leading to their illness, to help them discover the things that led to their illness and help them escape their symptoms, right? So you help people go over what they're eating, make sure they're not causing problems with what they're eating, make sure you're not eating too much protein, fat, animal products, you know, etc. You know, dairy, eggs, nuts, seeds, gluten, things like that. You know, on the other side of it, you learn how to read mycotoxin tests, mold tests. You learn how to identify what symptoms appear to be mold related. You know, you learn a lot about mold because mold is one of the main things that cause people chronic illness symptoms. Then you learn about nervous system reprogramming, nervous system retraining, you know, reprogramming the limbic system, you know, changing our perspective about things, etc. And the reality is, you know, in my particular situation, those were the three things that made the biggest difference when I have worked with people, is that learning how to teach them how to live a healthy life and shift their perspective, eat the right foods, stay in the right environment, have the right behaviors, get in the right pattern, think the right thoughts, believe the right things about themselves. This is what you really want to do if you want to help people. You don't really want to buy into that I'm going to heal them with supplements thing, because that's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Yes, supplements can help, but not until people are willing to make changes. They make changes in their personal behaviors, in their diet, in, you know, in the way they're thinking. You know, they're willing to document these things and actually participate. Then at that point in time, then you talk to them about supplements, okay? Because supplements, if you just give them more supplements, guess what? You're just going to be enabling them over and over to believe that supplements are going to fix them. But the problem is they got sick most of the time because of their behaviors, their perspective, their, you know, the way that they were approaching things, the way they were living life, the fast-paced life, you know, the adrenaline-inducing life, the, you know, or whatever happened in the past they did not let go of, which caught up with them later in life, you know. So you have to help these people get through these things. And, you know, by doing that, you'll help you be able to get through whatever remaining trauma you have from the illness, and it'll help give you a purpose to your life and really feel like, wow, you know, God's working through me. God had a purpose for me. This whole illness was worthwhile. Now I'm special. Now I'm unique. Now I'm helping people through the suffering that I went through. I'm helping prevent years and years of suffering that these people could be going through. I'm helping them discover their true selves. I'm helping them identify their counterproductive behaviors in their life. I'm doing real work that's actually producing long-term benefit for people, and it wouldn't have been possible if I didn't suffer with this illness and go through these things. So this is the ultimate way out in your mind of the trauma that happened from the illness, is to try to turn it into something where you spread the word about health afterwards. You share what you've learned with other people. You really dive into it. You make it a purpose in your life. You make it at least a little portion of your life where you start to give back in some way. And it'll make it rewarding. Trust me, it'll be very rewarding. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, reach out to me. You know, I'm happy to discuss this. If you're aspiring to want to be a health coach or want to be, you know, helping people who have health issues. So my website is endsickness.org. Again, I get hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos on there teaching you how to heal. Take care.